Welcome to this amazing setting. It's great to have you here in Napa. It's great to have you online. I'm so fired up to be with you here to discuss one of my favorite topics, AI. If I think back to the founding of Bloomreach, going back almost 15 years, if I could summarize my Series A presentation to Bain Capital Ventures, it was basically the following: AI meet digital experience. Thank you for the $5 million to get Bloomreach started. That was pretty much how we got going. Perhaps as you're here, you've sort of thought of this as coming to a conference. Well, I really hope the word of the day is conversation. Conversation in this room, conversation among all of us, conversation online, and we'll talk more about digital conversations. And indeed, this is a foundational moment. It's an important moment. It's a time when we are truly on the edge of a true revolution in AI. As Dr. Chowdhury talked about, it's important we get this right. The stakes are really high. The amplification of what we're doing here is enormous. So we're going to do this right, responsibly, ethically, and we're going to have profound impact in that process. And everywhere you turn, it can feel overwhelming to talk about AI. The articles about the jobs being taken, the articles about, well, what's your plan if you don't have an AI plan? What are you doing in digital in the first place? The articles about how hallucinations are going to make working with AI impossible, or we can't trust it. It can feel almost paralyzing. It can feel like, what am I exactly supposed to do with this thing? Well, first and foremost, before we get into it, I think we just take a collective deep breath. We can sort this out. And even though the answers won't be totally clear, we'll build this blueprint. We'll build a blueprint to take us forward. And much as we probably didn't get everything right on the internet in 1997, we won't get everything right here, but we'll find a path forward. And we'll find a path forward that serves us well. Specifically, I want to bound this conversation. We're not going to be talking about all of AI in this next 2 days. It's just too big. We're going to talk specifically about AI in e-commerce. We're going to make this real. We're going to sit at this intersection of AI, e-commerce, and marketing, and we're going to build that blueprint with this industry in mind. And the reality is, 25 years into e-commerce, we've come a long way. It's pretty incredible to celebrate the achievements and see those achievements of this collective industry through COVID and how it literally kept us alive. Well, despite that, the statistic that only 20% of global retail sales happen online, it really bothers me. Why only 20%? And indeed, trust is a big part of the answer, as Dr. Chowdhury talked about. But it's not the only answer. It's basically intuitive to us when we think about why only 20% of purchases happen online. And the reason is, quite simply, we in the tech industry, we in the e-commerce industry, we've made it really easy for people to buy what they were already looking for. That's what we've done. That's awesome. But have we really made it easy for people to shop? I don't think so. I think e-commerce experiences have been built for the searcher. They haven't really been built for the seeker. And when I say the searcher, I'm talking about the person who has something very specific in mind and is looking for that thing online. The world of e-commerce is awesome for that. But more often than not, we're really seeking a solution to a problem, something greater. We're translating those needs in our mind and through our shopping journeys into bits and bytes and queries and clicks. And then we're finding what we're looking for. I wrote a book on this topic called The Digital Seeker, and it really accentuates through a study of almost 100 companies that the winners in digital build for the seeker. They don't build for the purchaser. Let me give you a real-world example here, and this is a personal one. This is a picture of our living room at home. And we've had an experience of being seekers, much like many of you had. It's the kind of experience that perhaps you can relate to, which is you move to a new home and your old furniture doesn't fit the new home. Pretty familiar experience for all of us. Specifically, apparently, that brown couch is the problem. I love it, I have to say, but it's a problem because what we're really seeking is a warm and welcoming living room. That's what we're really seeking. And we want to find a way to create that warmth in the living room. But our journey from seeker to searcher, well, it'll probably feel familiar to many of you. We did all the things that you've done. We went on Houzz and Pinterest. We got a little bit of inspiration. We went to a whole bunch of great retail websites. We added products to cart. We de-added products to cart. We copied product descriptions and pasted them into Google. We typed another 300 Google searches and browsed around. 3 hours went by. We probably could have done this more efficiently. Months and months happened. We thought we were going to get it right. We typed in, curved, modern living room couch, only to realize this is just getting too hard. We got to find an expert. So we did what we've done for hundreds of years. We went to the store. And we talked to an expert who then further helped us refine what we were looking for. That person said, hey, have you considered down alternatives? I hear you have a child with allergies. Oh, what about the setting of the couch? It's got to be a little bit higher. Grandparents are going to struggle to sink into these super modern couches that we all love in pictures. So our needs get increasingly refined. And so here we are. It's been almost a year. And finally, it feels like we know what we're looking for. A modern, average height, lighter color fabric, down alternative couch for the living room, less than $5,000, available in a store near me. It took us about that length of time to identify our search and our needs. That was really the shopping journey. Along the way, by the way, we haven't really picked up the couch, but we did buy that rug. So the journey from seeker to shopper just has a lot of zigzags. It ultimately, if you just step back, it feels a lot more well-suited to a conversation than the maze of online shopping that we traversed. We need a reimagination of the online shopping journey. And we can take inspiration from a different industry. It wasn't that long ago that we used to hail cabs. But transportation was like that for so many years until we recognized that that wasn't really the definition of the problem. It wasn't about finding a better cab. It was really about redefining the problem to go from point A to point B. And enter Uber. Uber revolutionized transportation by solving for the seeker. They brought together so many things: mapping technology, payment technology, a driver marketplace, all of the different pieces of software that had to come together in order to deliver a seeker-centric experience of getting you from point A to point B by redefining the problem, by building for the seeker. But of course, could we imagine Uber and that kind of experience without the mobile phone? No, impossible. The mobile phone was the critical unlock that made a revolution in transportation possible. And all of e-commerce needs that kind of an unlock. But it isn't going to be good enough to just have a mobile phone. Necessary but not sufficient. We need a different kind of unlock, the kind of unlock that allows us to bring high-quality human expertise in literally every category available online to our fingertips. Enter Gen AI. With Gen AI, we're going to be able to design e-commerce experiences that finally solve for the seeker, that solve for the root cause of the problem, not just what we're expressing through a set of searches. Each of us will be able to experience a product expert with literally encyclopedic product knowledge of every product online, and one that might know us better than we know ourselves. It's crazy, but it's possible. Let's think about a category where perhaps there's not a category where there's more passion. We can see that in the world around us. There's a whole part of Napa Valley that has this kind of a bet. There's few things that people are passionate about, like wine, but there's also a few things that people, if you're like me, are as confused about as wine. There's just so much to consider, and the stakes are pretty high. What if that dinner party goes wrong? What if that gift goes wrong? Okay, fine, so this is not curing cancer. But nonetheless, the stakes are really high. You've got so much to consider. But instead of me really going through the process of what wine buying is really like and what it could be, I'd really like to welcome to the stage a world leader in this space, Christina Callas, Chief Digital Officer of Total Wine. Christina, welcome to the Edge Summit.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Christina, I'm so excited that you're here with me today. I've learned so much from you. We got inspiration from a lot of your thoughts when we wrote The Digital Seeker, and I'm so excited for you to share your journey with Total Wine, and thank you so much for the partnership with Bloomreach over this many years and all the work that we're doing together. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, before we get started and talk about the wine buying experience, I'd love it if you could just tell us a little bit more about Total Wine.
Sure. Well, you and I have known each other for about 10 years, and Bloomreach has been a trusted partner for a number of e-commerce sites that I've run, but it is very fitting that we are here together in Napa while I'm representing Total Wine. So for those of you that don't know Total Wine, we are a company that was founded by two brothers about 30 years ago with a single beer and pop store in Delaware. And since that time, we are quite different. We are still family owned, but we now have about 250 stores in 28 states, and we are the largest specialty retailer of adult bev in the country. And of course, TotalWine.com sells as well. We're still a growing company. We open about 15 to 20 new stores, including next week a new store in San Francisco. So for anybody local to San Francisco, check us out on Harrison Street. So how many of you have shopped in a Total Wine before? Awesome, that's great. So I'm sure in your experiences with Total Wine, you kind of sense that we've got this really strong foundation, and the first pillar of our foundation is selection. We have over 8,000 bottles of wine and 5,000 different spirits and countless beers to choose from. The second is service. We have highly trained sales associates that are at the ready to help you feel a little bit smarter about the choice that you're making in our stores. And we are relentless on pricing. We are spend a lot of time and energy making sure that you feel really good about the value that you get when you leave Total Wine.
Well, it's an incredible story, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Total Wine was an essential business during COVID.
We were essential during COVID, right? Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for being there for several hundred million of us.
Yes.
Now, you have been a digital pioneer, and you've been in many different industries of retail and brands online. And so when you were coming to Total Wine and thinking about digital at Total Wine, what did you want that to be like?
Yeah, so we think about digital at Total Wine as kind of two main objectives. And the first is e-commerce, and have a healthy e-commerce business, which we do. Again, we're the largest seller of alcohol online, and Bloomreach has been a wonderful partner in growth of that business. But secondly, and maybe even more importantly, we think of digital as a way of increasing engagement with our customers. So I am agnostic where our customer shops, as long as they use our digital properties to further engage with our brand. We've built a tremendous amount of expertise up over the last 30 years, and our customers trust us. We have a really deep relationship with our customers as they go through the wine buying journey. And our goal on the digital team is to extend that relationship through our digital properties. We want to invite customers into our stores. We want to augment their experience while they're shopping. You can take tasting notes in the app. We've got wayfinding on our digital properties. And we want them to be able to take that expertise and that relationship and that shopping history home with them when they leave our stores. And of course, supplement their in-store trips with shopping at TotalWine.com and getting all of that price, service, and selection on TotalWine.com whenever and however they want.
Well, it's awesome the work you've done with digital. It's really been industry leading in many ways, but I'm sure we can go even further. And so I'd love for you to tell us, what do you think the ideal wine buying experience would feel like?
Well, when you first walk into a Total Wine, you get this kid in a candy store kind of initial excitement when you see the 8,000 bottles of wine glistening in the lights. And then you might get a little bit nervous because you're not really sure how to navigate the 8,000 bottles of wine that are before you. And just then, one of our sales associates will come up and help you navigate that selection and help you find the perfect bottle for whatever your occasion is, if it's a dinner tonight or an after-work drink or a gift for your boss that you want to impress. And probably you'll walk out with 6 more bottles that you did not know you needed, but you're really excited to explore. I'm sure we've all had that experience. And our business is really built on that moment that very human moment, where exploration leads to the discovery of a new favorite product. And Matt Vorchheimer, who's our head of product, and I spend a lot of time thinking about how to translate that to an online experience. We're really good at transacting. But that very human connection and that conversation about how to bring that expertise to life online and give our customers access to that and recreate that in-aisle experience is a lot of what we're focused on, and we've been talking to your team a lot about as well.
Well, challenge accepted. We think that that is the right bar. I think you've talked about this being almost like a hand-selling model.
Absolutely.
Where it feels like that. So let's imagine that in every category we can deliver the hand-selling model online. What a profound impact that's going to have on shopping.
Revolutionary.
Revolutionary. Thank you so much, Christina.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Well, this vision of translating what makes us human expertise, and translating it to the digital world, it's an exciting one. It's inspirational. I'm fired up to pursue it. And as Christina and I both know, as our teams know, the good news is it's more than vision. It's happening. It's possible. It's real. It's coming to a Total Wine near you. But instead of talking about that future, how about if we just show you?
Wine should never be frustrating, and shopping for that wine shouldn't be either. But today, it often is. The purchase in life that we really want to get right purchases like the perfect bottle of wine. They take time. They need research. They require expertise. And all of that can be really frustrating. So, we've changed that. Introducing Bloomreach Clarity, AI-powered conversational shopping for a new world of e-commerce. When shoppers are seeking something, Clarity's there to guide them to the right thing, filling in knowledge gaps, sharing advice and expertise, turning confusion into confidence. It's human-like expertise, available to every shopper, on any channel, instantly. This is shopping without frustration. This is shopping that delights. This is shopping with clarity.
So fired up about clarity. We think it's the future of e-commerce. We think it's the future of conversational commerce. We think it's the future of the humanization of digital. It's a product we're all perfecting right now. We're psyched to be collaborating with Total Wine on it. We're excited to collaborate with all of you on this groundbreaking new endeavor. Reach out if you'd like to do it. Finally, we have the opportunity to build the first e-commerce AI that is connected to every single one of your customers, truly personalized, integrated with all of your brand's channels, so available across SMS and apps and websites and the like. And literally the best human expertise, that encyclopedic product knowledge, available at our fingertips. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to put it in your hands because that expertise ultimately has to be informed by the best product experts in the world, you. And as I think about clarity, the moment has to be now. It's been talked about a long time. We're going to leave those chatbots behind. We're certainly going to leave that 80% that isn't online by the wayside and make this a moment of acceleration. And we have to do this now because not just the tech is here, but the consumer is here, the customer is here. Whether it's Google or ChatGPT or Bing, they are literally retraining our customers every day to interact conversationally. They get up every day and they're envisioning a new home human interface. We were not genetically predisposed to type 7 words into a search box. We were trained to do that by these search engines online. And they will retrain us again, conversationally. Their expectations will be rising. They will show up at our digital doorsteps expecting the same kind of interactions that they're having on the public web. We've got to deliver for them, and we will. So how exactly do we do this? That was an amazing story of wine. But we've got to do this for every sector of commerce. We've got to do this for shoes. We've got to do this for wine. We've got to do this for beauty. Every one of these sectors, every one of these domains is incredibly unique. And that's exactly how large language models work. You have to train them. They are only as good as the data set that trains them. So we have to take all the relevant data, and in particular, your data about your customers, your data about your product performance, your data about how people buy those products, and we have to feed the LLMs with it. We have to train it. And then we have to give it constraints. We have to give it boundaries. We have to make sure that this AI is deeply embedded across the foundation of your infrastructure. It's got to be at the root of every part of the customer experience. Because if it doesn't serve as the foundation, all kinds of wonky things happen. Let's imagine that you're selling snacks online, and you feed a general corpus of data about those snacks and those bars to an LLM. And then you output product information on your website. And then a family like mine that has a kid with a peanut allergy goes online and starts looking for bars, and it happens that it recommends a set of bars that aren't great for kids with peanut allergies. Well, now that's not just bad, that's dangerous. And that's the kind of thing with these hallucinations that can happen if the data set that feeds it is just available from the public internet. It doesn't work. And thinking more deeply, even if we fix that problem, let's say we get the website working and our website is exactly accurate with the data. But then we have an independent AI engine because we bought an email tool, and that independent AI engine is sending 20% off coupons to me recommending nut-based products, not because you didn't have that data, but because the two AIs didn't talk to each other. Well, that really sucks. Now, instead of a better experience, I lose trust with the brand. So fundamentally, this is about delivering a great shopping experience and not leaving frustrated shoppers and revenue in the wake. It's so essential that we embed AI deeply across the customer experience so all the bits of it talk to each other and are indexed off the right set of data. And maybe more importantly, it's important we understand who's in charge here. You, me, human beings, we are in charge of this AI. We don't get to turn around and say the AI screwed it up. We say, we're accountable, we're going to do it ethically, we're going to do it right. And so we have to take responsibility for this full problem. At Bloomreach, that's exactly what we've done. We put AI in the guts of the infrastructure, across the architecture, across the APIs, across the customer data, across the product data, in the workflow, integrated with the governance. That might seem intuitive, but it's actually not like a lot of the announcements we have seen around AI. Most of what we have seen is, look, I got a new bolt-on for writing emails a little faster. Look, I got a new copy editing tool that makes us write or edit copy a little bit better, or maybe an analytics tool that processes some data. It doesn't feel foundational. Some kind of AI bolt-on. That's not ultimately going to work, we think. And so our perspective is that AI has to be deeply woven across all of the products, across the entire shopper journey. And that's what we're building. At Bloomreach, we affectionately call this AI layer, which has been, as I mentioned, at the root of the company, we call it Lumi, because it's literally inside Bloomreach. Lumi is quite simply the best AI for e-commerce. It's been fueling our products for many years, but now we're doubling down in a really big way. With the unlocks that the Gen AI stack permits, we're taking all of the best models LLMs, foundational models, open source alternatives, and building the applications of the future for commerce. That's how we could build something like Bloomreach Clarity. And beyond the innovations in our products, this is ultimately about transforming the lives of the people that use our tools, the marketers, the merchandisers, the e-commerce managers, who every day get up and make the world a little better, deliver more products, deliver more revenue for their companies. We are in the business of empowering them. But I thought it might be best to leave this part of the presentation to the person who knows our products best, my co-conspirator, Anirban. Anirban, come on to the Edge Summit stage and tell us a lot more about Loop.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you, Raj. Hello, everybody. My name is Anirban Bardalaye. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Bloomreach. Today, I'm going to do a double click on the impact of generative AI on e-commerce, the vision that Raj just shared with us. And for Bloomreach customers in particular, it means a deeper understanding of Lumi, its evolution with generative AI and large language models, and how marketers and merchandisers can take advantage of it to build your e-commerce experience. Let me start by peeling back a few layers. At the heart of Bloomreach is an incredibly powerful data set of customers and product. Data, we all know, is critical in the age of AI. It's your data that gives you that unique differentiation, allows your customer experience to stand out from the crowd. ChatGPT can give us general recommendations about products, but only you know which products are trending at this very moment. Only you know which products are in stock. And then only you know which products are profitable for you. And that's where our customer data engine comes in. It takes all this massive amounts of data, customer and product, and builds this graph, and that allows us to deliver this unique, personalized customer experience. That's what customer data engine does for you, for your customer experience. Now, it is this breadth of data that trains Lumi, the AI that we have spent years purpose building it for e-commerce. Lumi delivers capabilities such as optimal send time, return prediction in Bloomreach Engagement, to search, real-time segmentation in Bloomreach Discovery, and a whole bunch of capabilities in between. Now, if this is what Lumi is doing today, let's see what it means for the future. At Bloomreach, as Raj mentioned, our products serve marketers and merchandisers. They are the core personas who drive e-commerce. And as a product person, I get the opportunity to meet with them, to understand their jobs, understand their pain points. I know how deeply connected they are to data. They really need to understand the KPIs, really need to understand the insights. And that requires them to go through tons and tons of data, go down rabbit holes. We have all been there. I have been there. Now, based on the KPIs, they need to come up with recommendations. They need to figure out what actions to take, and that takes time. That takes time to do that strategic thinking. It, of course, needs deep domain expertise as well. And, of course, they need to take those actions, the actions that they figure out from the recommendations. And for those actions, you need time, and you need mastery of the tools. Now, listen, I have seen how many tabs a marketer has opened at any given point of time. I have seen merchandisers place manually products in a specific order to optimize their category page. I can see some head nods. And if there is one thing in common between these functions, it's a lack of time. They just don't have enough time to do all of that. But generative AI is going to transform. Generative AI is going to change those functions. And at Bloomreach, we're already working towards that future. Today, I want to show you a vision of what that future might look like, powered by Lumi. Let's start with what that looks like for a marketer using Bloomreach Engagement. Imagine you are that marketer. You're out of office, enjoying beautiful Napa. You come back to office. You're in Bloomreach Engagement, and there is a notification waiting for you. Uh-oh, a KPI has dropped. Not good at all. And in today's world, what that would mean is going through tons of data to figure out what happens and how do you fix that. But not anymore. With Lumi by your side, you can ask Lumi for help. You ask Lumi to analyze, why did that KPI drop? Lumi goes to town, does the data crunching for you, takes a look at all of your customers, and comes back with this nicely built report for customer segments and the conversion rate by those segments. Of course, you're fixated on that big red dot. That's your lowest performing segment. You want to understand more. You get some basic insights, but you need more. You ask Lumi for help again. Lumi does the data crunching, and then this is something that should interest you. Lumi tells you that, hey, if you are able to drive up conversion a little bit more, you can generate $123,000 of revenues. Now that's interesting, right? You need to take some action. But Lumi helps you with that as well. Lumi is coming back and saying, look, there are some plug-and-play use cases that I could recommend that for you to drive those conversion. Now, plug-and-play use cases are the campaigns and the journeys that have proven successful for other customers in a similar scenario. Lumi comes back and gives you some options out there. You know this was the first to second purchase reactivation. You said, great, let's go ahead and try that campaign. You don't have to build the campaign. The campaign has been built for you by Lumi. It's all there. But you remember this was for the lowest performing segment. You, of course, want to tailor it for that. And you ask Lumi for help. How do I tailor that campaign and make it specific for that big red dot, that segment that I want to go after? Lumi does the work for you again, builds that node, creates those conditions, and all you need to do at that point of time is a few clicks, and suddenly this campaign is going to be tailored for that lowest performing segment. That's it. But of course, it's not that simple, right? As marketers, you know that you have to think about the creatives, the copies, and all of that stuff. Lumi does the hard work for you, has created the copy, created the images, but you're a marketer, you want to test, you want to create some variations. Again, Lumi comes to your rescue. You give a tone. Lumi generates those variations as well, creates those alternate copies that you can use. And not just that, you can ask Lumi to figure out where should you send the message to the right platform. You do a few more checks. Everything is looking good. One more check for the campaign. This is looking good as well. That's it. You are done. Your campaign is ready. It's deployed. And hopefully, you have driven $23,000 for your company. Now, imagine this. This is just like one use case, one campaign. And as a marketer, you all know that this is not just one thing that you're doing, right? You have hundreds of these campaigns, hundreds of these KPIs that you are going to be investing in on a daily basis. Imagine the impact of Lumi acting as a true co-pilot for a marketer. Now, the impact is just as significant for merchandisers. Now, merchandisers are data-driven optimizers. They're always looking for ways to unlock more growth. So if I'm a merchandiser, I'm already in Bloomreach Discovery Dashboard. I'm looking for those opportunities that can drive more growth, more profits, more revenues for my company. Wine that pairs with steak. It's a search term that's trending up, which is amazing, but conversion, not so great. I need help. Again, I can ask Lumi, and here's a stat that interests me. 50K of additional revenues if I can optimize the search ranking. I don't know about you, but if I say 50K on the table, I'm going to take it. I need help. I ask Lumi to optimize the search result. Lumi does the work in the background, comes back with a couple of options for me. Now, the first thing Lumi is telling me is that, hey, you should be thinking about adding content. Now, this is interesting. Remember what Raj talked about expertise. This happens to be a conversational search. And Lumi is saying that, look, for searchers who are doing a conversational search, you need to provide more information, more context about the search. Lumi has done the work for you, created a copy for the content that you can put in front of your shoppers. It gives you some more options. I can generate the content. Great. One of the actions done. But there was more, right? Lumi said, maybe you should be thinking about grouping products. Now, this is interesting. That means that I have tons of wines that match the search criteria. I need a better way of organizing the search results. Lumi does the work for me again, organizes the search results by wine type, and just like that, I've taken actions on those recommendations to drive up conversion for the search term. I can do a quick preview. I can see how the end shopper is going to see the search term and see how the search page is going to look like. Everything is looking good. I'm almost done. But not so fast. Remember, I'm a data-driven optimizer. I'm always looking for more stuff to do, and I'm always looking, I know my audience really well. As a Californian, I know that we love local wine. So what I want to do is I want to boost Californian wines, show Californian wines at the top for folks who are coming from California. Now, this is something that I could have done with the tool myself, but why do it if Lumi is going to help me out with that as well? And just like that, Lumi has created a merchandising rule so that when you are coming from California, you are shopping at my site, California wines, maybe the Napa Valley wines, they're going to be showing up at the very top. Now, just like with the marketer, you can see that in a matter of few minutes, we can drastically transform the life of a merchandiser. Again, this is one of the many, many, many search terms that they are going to be working on. They're going to be trying to optimize. These is many of the category pages they're going to be optimizing. So what I want to say is that imagine the impact of when Lumi does this at scale for your merchandisers, for your marketers. This is going to be transformational for them. But there is something deeper that's happening behind the scenes, and it's with Bloomreach Discovery. When we built Bloomreach Discovery years ago, we did something that nobody had done before. We powered it with AI. We powered it with Lumi. Lumi learned from your customer data. Lumi learned from your site data. It got trained on Bloomreach data, and that meant that the search results were automatically tailored for your shoppers. They were designed to maximize conversion without you having to do any of those things manually. Today, with large language models, Lumi can learn from the whole internet's behavior in addition to being trained on your customer and shopper data. This will allow the search experience to truly understand the shopper's intent, much like a human could. It will retrieve a relevant and highly converting result even when you're searching using a conversational language. This is a new world of e-commerce for your marketers, your merchandisers, your businesses, and for each of us as shoppers. At Bloomreach, we're very bullish about generative AI. And as a product person, I do fundamentally believe that this is a game-changing moment in technology. We're unlocking tech that's going to transform lives and drive even more revenues and profits for our customers. This isn't just exciting, it is seismic. And if it wasn't, 10 in the morning, I would say, let's lift a glass of sparkling wine and say cheers to the future ahead. We may be a little too early for that, Raj. What do you say? Thank you.
Look, what I say to Anirban is it's 7 p.m. somewhere in the world, so I'm sure we can get to the wine pretty soon. We'll save that. Really exciting. Super fired up about what is possible here. Gen AI is here. So let's step back to the question we asked. How is it going to transform e-commerce? Well, with clarity, it's going to literally transform the way people shop. It's going to transform the nature of the products they buy online versus the products they go into stores for. It's going to provide that kind of product expertise right at everybody's fingertips. And then you saw how Lumi is going to transform the lives of the practitioners that make this all possible. Transform the lives of marketers and merchandisers, make them incredibly productive, transform search and how search technology works, what kind of data it processes to deliver relevant results. It's going to power across the customer journey, right the way through. And of course, in doing all of that, it's going to unlock a next level of growth. We're going to leave that 80% number in the rearview mirror pretty fast if we get this right. So when we think about this, we feel super fortunate and super well positioned to partner with the industry in making this all possible. At Bloomreach, this kind of innovation in AI, it's literally in our DNA. It was in that original pitch. It's in the 30-plus patents we have at the intersection of products and people and AI. We've been leading this revolution for a while, and we're just getting started. We have one of the largest data sets in the industry around e-commerce. We're fortunate to have that. And we know that data is the jet fuel that makes Gen AI go. And we have a very deep understanding of what it actually takes to do the job. What it actually takes to deliver the kind of campaigns that Anirban showed you for marketers, or the type of optimizations that he showed you for merchandisers. And so we're going to integrate that AI foundationally across our tools, make it available through our applications, make it available to our ecosystem. And we're going to do all of that in a way that you can trust, that is above board ethically, that is super transparent, and that is super experimental in the process. We're going to do this together. But of course, we know that Gen AI's impact in e-commerce, a lot of what we've talked about is about the front-end customer experience. And it goes much beyond that. It goes to how we will source products, to supply chain. It goes to how we will build creative. It goes to how we will advertise. It affects every aspect of the value chain in commerce. And what we would say about that is get curious. During these 2 days, talk to your neighbors about what they're doing. Talk to your technology partners about how they're experimenting. Ask them whether they're building it foundationally so that it all talks to each other. Of course, there are risks to do anything new, but there are bigger risks to not jumping into these waters. As I leave you here today, what's on my mind is a bit more of a meta question. This fall, this is a picture of my daughter and I, and she's going to college. So what's on my mind, beyond whether or not she can do her own laundry, is in this AI-dominated world that she's going to no doubt be stepping into, what skills, what jobs are going to matter? Are we, the human race, going to be put into the dustbin of history? I don't think so. We're just getting started. This powerful technology, it's going to bring out the best of humanity. And what I would tell her is what I would tell all of you, which is if we want to be ready for this AI-dominated era, be a coach, be a creator, or be a caregiver. What do I mean by that? Well, this AI thing, these machines, these algorithms, they're exactly that. They're machines and algorithms. They need to be trained. They need to be coached. We may no longer be the players on the field, but we can be the world's best coaches. There's going to be entirely new industries in the area of ethics, in the area of prompt engineering, in the area of fine-tuning models, in the area of quality control, in the area of policy. And we're going to need all of that infrastructure to coach the AI to do the right thing for society. So be a coach. Or be a creator. We're going to be able to create incredible new businesses, incredible new therapies, incredible new art that combines digital and physical all together. The opportunities to be a creator have never been more profound. And finally, be a caregiver. Nobody reaches human beings better than human beings. We can count on that. Imagine what teaching is going to feel like. Imagine what nursing is going to feel like. Reaching people is going to be even more impactful than ever before. It's for each of us to choose what that future looks like. What I can tell you is that by harnessing the power of this nascent and powerful technology, wherever we thought we could go, whatever we thought we could do, we can go further. Thank you.